The partial government shutdown last year was a political disaster for the GOP, but true to form, Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell, Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell, who never lets a bad idea go to waste, plans to bring it back if he wins in 2014. In a tape released to TYT Network partner The Undercurrent, McConnell outlines his agenda to his rich billionaire friends. Why don't we take a listen?
Most things in the Senate require fixing, but not the budget, and the President doesn't sign the budget. So the House and Senate agree on budget. So what does that mean? That means that we have a spending bill. And I assure you that in the spending bill, we will be pushing that against this bureaucracy. I'm doing what's called placing logic in the bill. No money for the Senate to do this or to do that. We're going to go after on health care, on financial services, on the environmental protection agencies, across the board. You administrators on show, all across the government, we're going to go after.
You catch that? Slipping riders into spending bills, otherwise known as slipping in a poison pill to a piece of legislation. It's pretty much an old political trick that's been used plenty of times, and that's actually what caused the shutdown last year. And they slipped a defund Obamacare rider into one of the major spending bills, and, well, we also saw what happened after a pretty lengthy partial government shutdown that was getting to be rather unpopular and ended up backfiring. Now, Dan, I want to ask you first what you think about this whole thing, this whole devious plot to do basically what they tried before that didn't work.
It just goes back to what we talked about, previously with the Scarborough segment, which is this idea of, we've given up on governing if it's not our guy in office. So and I think the problem that you have is like, I'm not totally convinced this isn't going to happen when the reverse comes around and you're going to see Democrats and not being in the White House at some point. And that's the thing that gets scary is it's really not about, oh, I don't like Mitch McConnell or I don't like so-and-so. They're such a terrible politician. It's that the system is like leading people to do this kind of stuff. But it's also, we don't talk about this a lot, but it's somewhat democracy at work too. Like the people that don't like Obama and Democrats this time are racist. I mean, really passionate about what they believe in. So I think there's a lot of that as well. I mean, I think that there's this group of people with the Tea Party that really wants nothing. Like they're so against, they're so far to the right that anything that seems even close to the center seems like a sellout. So it's about stopping everything, and I think that that's what scares me about the Mitch McConnell's, because he's just he's a terrible politician. As you can tell by, us listening to 5 minutes of him saying exactly what he shouldn't be saying out loud. But it's not surprising, and I think that you can see the pattern from their actual governance record, that this was from day one. Since he took office in 2008, it was the plan. Make sure nothing moves. And, how many times have we talked about on this show, on TYT and on Truth Mashup, about the absolute horrendous record of the last 8 years. Like, nothing's really getting done. It's funny to watch them also complain a bit, too, about, like, Obama on vacation when, he's been on less vacation days than the entire Congress. But, I mean, you get my point. Like, it's always going to be whatever this guy does, slam the brakes.
And speaking of blocking and priorities, we've got more.
Where is he? What planet is he on? Like,
yeah, I don't know.
That's all we do is debate these problems. He says, oh, they're doing these things. Oh, that won't help. Well, he doesn't provide any reason Why? Says it'll cost 500 more jobs. Show me the numbers where that is, sir. It's like, I mean, God, here he is kissing ass, and he's given the same bullshit he gives on the campaign trails. It's like, this is what scares me the most about this, is that this might very well be the way the Republican Party is for the next long time. Like, if there's another Democratic president, regardless of race, regardless of who the hell they are, they're just going to continue to be this goddamn obstructionist. This is the most obstructionist I think we've ever seen of any sort of Congress or Senate, and it's unbelievable. Like, they're not even doing their job anymore, yet they still come out with this same rhetoric, as if
he makes it sound as if he's like, oh my God, we got to debate another minimum wage bill again. Oh golly gee. That's like the third one today. Bitch, you're on vacation most of the time. Literally, you're out of session on vacation more often than you are actually at work. And you're going to sit there and complain about, oh my God, we got to do these damn debates over the minimum wage. I told you, get rid of the damn thing, give tax cuts to the rich. How hard is this? How hard is this, guys? We've got to get these tax cuts. Let's stop debating about all this stuff. Look, this is their priorities, right? This is what they think is important, especially when they're talking to a room full of billionaire backers and guys that's what they want to hear. The same old policy prescriptions for the same old thing to do this, to get the same old result, which doesn't help anybody but the people listening in that room.
It's funny what you talked about, though, in the last segment where we talked about it creates these homogenous candidates, creates these candidates that kind of all sound the same. But what's really scary is it does really come down to the last 20 years of where the goalposts have moved and how far right Republicans are now. And it's really kind of a scary thing. And it goes back to money in politics. Like, it is such about corporate interests. It's staggering. If you think about a politician basically saying, like, man, all those other politicians want to do is talk about how people can feed their families, it's staggering that doesn't come off like Mitch McConnell's lips as, oh, maybe that might sound bad. He doesn't care because he knows how he's staying elected, and it's those guys in the room. Isn't it bizarre that, like, somebody like a McConnell who's running with the Republican Party, it blows my mind continuously. They don't get they're going to drive us all off a cliff, or they do get it, and that's how insane these people are with whatever gets me paid at the end of the day. Fuck all of y'all. I'm not sure what mentality they're in, but the idea is very simple. We live in a snuggy economy, as I always say. The idea is that we buy crap. That's how things work. That's how the whole system works. Manufacturing's gone. Amazon.com and the Googles of the world do not employ a third of the people that could be employed if we went and bought things at other stores. But we're not going to do that. Fine. That's fair. That's the world we live in. But then you've got to feed the middle class. The middle class has to have money, or this whole thing falls in on itself. And so for the Republicans, who are capitalists, who hate socialism, it's like you're not doing capitalism right. And that's what's mind-boggling, is that we're not even close to coming to saying anything like, that we're about to, like, launch the new Chairman Mao revolution. We're legitimately saying, you're breaking capitalism, idiot. And that's what's really scary.